Look at this little girl. She wants to be just like her mother. She's even dressed up like her mother. And you know that's who she's smiling at. And she even wants to cook like her mother. You see, mothers play an important role. For many people, they say that children learn the most from their mothers. And Timothy, he was trained by his mother and his grandmother. That's how Timothy in the Bible got to become the man he became. He became a good Christian man and lived a good Christian life because of his mother and his grandmother. They play a significant role in the child's life. But what about the father? The father, for most people, they say that the father is their first impression of God. Their father gives them the first impression of God for most people. Now that is important to know, especially if you're a father. And fathers, of course, are supposed to help in training the child, as you can see in this photo. And in Proverbs chapter 17 and verse 6, it says that fathers are the glory of children, or the glory of children is their father. So the father is a very influential person in a child's life. But the mother and father have a dual responsibility, and that is found in Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 6. And it says that if you train up a child in the way that he should go, when he is old, he will not depart from it. Okay, but how do you do that? Well, one way you can do it is that if you got to pray about it. First, you got to talk to God about your child, and then talk to your child about God. But how do you do that? Well, you got to have wisdom in order to do that. And how do you get wisdom? That is found in James chapter 1 and verse 5 and in Proverbs chapter 2 and verse 6. It says, if anyone lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives to all generously and without reproach. So God will give you wisdom if you ask for it. And that brings us to another important point. Prayer. You've got Bible study, which will teach you the things you need to know in order to live a good Christian life. And it'll help you. But you've also got prayer. Now, prayer is important. Now, prayer is important because it is not only us talking to God, but it is also a way of bringing God closer to us. Allowing God closer to us when we pray to Him. It brings us closer to God. And that's important, especially when you're doing something like raising a child. Because the closer you get to God, the closer you're going to become together. The closer it brings you together, both as a husband and wife and children with their parents. It creates a bond that is very strong. And that's important to know when you're raising a child.